I am 21 years old and I am gay.
I'm 21 years old and I'm gay.
I'm 22 years of age and I'm transgender.
I'm 20 years old and I'm transgendered.
Basically, I know it was like this from very young. I knew this is what it was.
From the time I was little, usually around 5 or 6, you get crushes and little kids talk, and my crushes usually were never on boys.
I first realized it when I was around 12, 13, that I was looking at males inside of females, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I felt like I wasn't human.
I remember from as young as probably around 3, maybe younger than that. My mother was teaching me the difference between boy and girl, and even though I knew the words and what the difference was, I kept arguing with her that I was a girl. Well, in Barbados I find that personally for me, some people don't always know right off. Even if someone else might look at me and say, well, that's a man going down the road, usually people will argue and say, no, that's not possible. She looks just too feminine to be a man. But for me, when it comes to certain things like applying for jobs, it's usually difficult because I'm often judged from the minute I walk through the door. I've been told sometimes that people will say, well, you look too tall or you're too broad-shouldered or something like that. And usually I say, but they don't know what's under my clothes, so how do they know?
I know, and living in my mother's house, I couldn't choose to be gay. So that's when I tried to be straight. This is me. This is who I am, and I'm gonna have to accept it. I can't live for other people. I didn't choose this. I chose to be happy.
I was always feminine, and I guess everyone around me knew that because even in primary school, the parents would say, the parents would make comments about me being womanish or feminine or whatever the case may be. And to me that was hard.
Around going through secondary school, I faced even more torment, the rumors, the name calling, etc. And then that was a point where I had to more or less put myself in a closet and deny all rumors, even going to the point of trying to be more like the boys, emulating them, trying to dress more like them when going out to social events, trying to interact with girls in a similar manner to the boys would do. And the entire time I usually felt suffocated because it was as though I was wearing some sort of a costume. It was as though I was playing some vile character in a badly written movie.
I think I live a pretty normal life as anybody else, straight or gay, but it is difficult. It is difficult to know that basically Barbados doesn't accept you. Everyone in Barbados basically is homophobic to some extent, and it's no problem to be outwardly mean to anybody who is gay. So it's difficult in everyday life to walk by people who don't even know you and say stupid things or mean things, and it's not true or it shouldn't hurt you, but it does.
When I was 15, I had an asthma attack. I was admitted to the hospital for a week, and it was around the same time that my mother was finding out, and I remember her coming to my bed and telling me that I am a nasty bitch, and that she should take me to the A's ward and show me where I get in it, and that she couldn't have a gay friend. And it was difficult to hear those words from my mother, but I know that was the life. So I would have to be strong, be able to stand up for myself and be confident in who I am.
People started calling my mother actually, and telling her that they were going to kill me, that I want killing, I want licking down, I want running over. And obviously scared for my life, I stayed home for like 2 months straight until I regained my confidence. And That's about it.
Being gay has definitely negatively impacted almost all of my family relationships. At some point in time, anyone who's close to me has had a problem with my sexual orientation, and some people have come around, but some people still, the relationships are strained. I was kicked out from home at one point in time, and at one point in time my mother even said she would rather have me die than to be this way, and I simply can't stay in the house if I'm going to be a lesbian, and so I had to leave.
I remember there was an incident that happened a few months ago in my neighborhood. I went to a store and there was a group of boys standing outside, and from the minute they recognized me, it was immediately, oh, God made Adam and Eve, it's not Adam and Steve, and they started throwing rocks, and it was that I even had to get the police involved, although nothing much really came of that. I've had some instances with job discrimination where one or two persons would have said, well, you know, in our company we're not really looking for such a thing. You would have to follow certain rules and regulations, etc. I even remember one incident where I went to perform in a movie. I was asked to do an extra scene, and when the premiere came around and the producer found out that I was transgendered, he had called me at home and he said, I would like to politely and respectfully, not to mention responsibly, ask you to respect what we're doing and not to attend unless you are dressed as a man.
Emotionally, you struggle to remind yourself they are not right. I am me and this is fine, and eventually the rest of Barbados just needs to catch up to the fact that some people are going to be gay and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I want to see acceptance. You don't have to jump on what people call the bandwagon and say gay people are right. You don't have to do it. I just want people to become aware and knowledgeable of the struggles we go through as homosexuals and transgenders, and be more accepting.
Understand that while you may have your preferences, you may have your beliefs, etc., understand that not everyone is going to see it your way. Not everyone is going to conform to the way how you see life. We're going to be doing our own thing as well. Just respect that and let us be when you see us. So that's basically all I want to see.
We, the LGBT community, are not asking for your approval. We're not asking for you to stand and say that this is right. All we're asking for is for you to accept us, treat us equally, for the same equal rights, the right to marriage, the right to love whoever I feel to love. We're not asking for your approval, just your acceptance.